Hi, welcome to another episode of Intersections. I'm Mamie Ba, your host. Thank you for joining us this morning. Pull up a chair and meet me at the corner. Intersections starts now. We begin with a discussion on teen takeovers. They're happening here in cities and in cities across the country. Teenagers and young adults are promoting and prearranging these mass gatherings through social media in public spaces, and sometimes the large gatherings can turn into chaos. The crowds can grow fast. You're looking at several takeovers, mainly at Market Square and the East Liberty area, along with the flyers. The takeovers result in fights, property damage, and altercations with police when they fail to cooperate. City leaders and Pittsburgh police have told KDKA they're trying to get ahead of the trend, monitoring social media and other methods. They recognize dispatching police will never solve this issue, and now they're just one group among many trying to figure out solutions as well as opportunities for young people. One of those groups is the Boys and Girls Club of Western PA. They have an office and teen club on Liberty Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh. Chris Watts, president and CEO, is joining me, along with Floyd Cephas, Senior Director and Mentoring and Prevention Programs, and Journey Ross, high school student and team member. Thank you all so much for being here. You all are in the thick of it.
We are. Thank you, Mamie. I appreciate the opportunity to share and join with my incredible colleague and one of our wonderful teens, because the Boys and Girls Clubs is an organization that's been around delivering this mission for 138 years. So what's happening now isn't new to us as an organization, and it's really not new to the community. We've tried to provide safe places, dedicated mentors, and programs that help kids reach their potential. And that model that happened so long is really what we're still doing now, but doing it in different ways. And we're one of many, as was mentioned, that is trying to contribute to provide positive opportunities and experiences for the teens throughout the region to get places where they want to be, but also opportunities to help them get to the next step. And sometimes there's challenges throughout the way, but that's why we exist, and that's why we have an awesome team and places to help support that.
Yeah, and Journey, I just want to ask you for a second, when you talk to your peers, what are they saying is the allure behind these takeovers?
I talked to my peers. They learned behind the takeovers. They really, I guess, like the intrigue of being with others their age and just being able to be outside, and I guess in the community, being able to be a kid really just outside and about, not having to be at home and communicating with each other.
Yeah. I mean, and it's right downtown. It seems like everyone wants to be down here, and there's such a big draw.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that it's due to the fact that there are some schools that are downtown, and youth are in the habit of using it as a gateway to other areas, even to East Liberty if they're coming from the north side, or they'll go through downtown. So it is a collective space that youth are used to, and I think it's just a part of their desire to be seen and to be a part of the fabric of civic life in the city. What we tend to do with the Boys and Girls Clubs is try to answer that call that Journey spoke to, which is kids want to have a place to go. We don't feel like we're shooting in the dark to meet their need. They've told us themselves that this is what they want. They want safe places to congregate. I guess the gap that we're trying to make sure we're addressing is creating those safe places for them to congregate. We have kids that come to our centers, but there seems to be a need for more spaces.
Yeah. And so as we look ahead, what do you think would be a good solution in terms of fixing this problem? I mean, I know we've been talking about this since April, since Market Square got renovated, and now we're in July, and it just seems like it's becoming a common thing every single weekend. I see flyers popping up.
Yeah. I'll start with some perspective, because I really want to hear from Journey about her take on what teens are going to want to do. But from my understanding, and from Boys and Girls Clubs in general, a solution is hard, but progress and opportunity is something that we need to continue to push forward. Working closely with Allegheny County and the city, we recognize that this is not just a law enforcement or a policy option. Those are things that are last resorts that we need to get way more upstream to provide those positive experiences and places that teens want to be. Certainly in downtown, there is a need and demand for larger spaces, after school programs, summer programs that kids can opt into, but we know those aren't things that all teens want to participate in. They want the unstructured places. They want the places where they can just go be kids without oversight. And oftentimes some of these programs that help fund us, there's a lot of criteria, which helps develop skills for the future, but also is a barrier for some. And so we feel that the Boys and Girls Clubs programming and organizations like us is just one piece of a larger puzzle of solutions that both have the proactive places, but also the reactive places where kids can just go and be kids. But there's not many of those places downtown. Yes, there's new public spaces, but they're not necessarily meant for kids. And as an organization, we feel this is not just a downtown problem. It's a problem that there's not places in many communities that kids want to be in that have those opportunities. And so that's why they're coming downtown where other folks are.
Yeah. Did you want to add?
I guess I mostly just want to add to what he said. I noticed that a lot of my peers, they don't really like the structured format of the programs that are usually run. So I noticed that a lot of them drop out or decide to come maybe once a week because it doesn't appeal to them. And because it doesn't appeal to them, then they get hooked up in the Teen Takeover stuff. They want to go out, but they don't have no programs or spaces where they feel that they can go out safely.
Yeah. And I've been covering this topic for a while, and I've talked to a lot of community members, and I've also talked to residents in the area, and a lot of them say they feel like there needs to be some type of punishment that deters them from this kind of behavior. And one of those things is citing the parents or citing the kids. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we've seen parents be held to account for the behavior of children in new ways. Even in criminal trial, we've seen parents become the ones that are expected to be singularly accountable or jointly accountable. I understand that thought process. When I reflect on many of my community members saying similar things, I ask them to reflect on their time as a youth, and oftentimes that reflection has them coming to the conclusion that it wasn't just their parents that were available to support them in their formative years. They might have spent a great deal of time in a schoolhouse, sure, but there were other spaces. Even as they would walk down their street, there might be a sign in the window of a neighbor that says, "This is a safe space that you can pop in," even if your parents aren't home. I think that that's a missing piece, and community members may be looking just to the parent or perhaps to the police to resolve the issue. But I would say that we all have to think about what may have worked for us in our formative years, and are we willing to put ourselves out there to be a mentor, to provide a guideline for youth, even if it's in a passing role, because it does take that level of involvement. Sometimes it might take 100 people to get an adult to become, a success.
Yeah, it takes a village. Thank you all so much for being here. Don't go anywhere. We're stopping by at a first-of-its-kind celebration during Disability Pride Month and highlighting the work of a local nonprofit prioritizing mental health resources when we come back. This month marks 36 years since the passing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Last week, the city of Washington had its first ever Disability Pride event. The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law July 26, 1990, becoming one of the nation's most significant civil rights laws. It prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities. Disability Pride Pennsylvania says 36 years later, there's still work to be done.
We need to do a lot more around employment and housing. Those are the two things I talk about all the time. There's not enough accessible housing for everyone, and so we really need to do a better job doing that.
The nonprofit is hosting another Disability Pride event on September 26 at Shenley Plaza in Oakland from noon until 4. Every July is BIPOC Mental Health Awareness Month. BIPOC stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. In mental health, it highlights how systemic racism, historical trauma, and socioeconomic barriers play a role. For more than a decade, Still Smiling has been working to bridge the gap between Black people and mental health support. I spoke with Courtney Abegunde, the managing director of Still Smiling.
Still Smiling was founded in 2015. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary in December of 2025.
Yeah, and you've been promoted.
Yes. So in August, I'll celebrate 6 months in my new position as managing director for Still Smiling. I was previously our operations director, so I've been with the organization for 4 years.
So we talk about the disparities when it comes to mental health and people of color. How has that factored into all the work you all have done? Because it was founded based on that premise.
Yeah, it was definitely founded on the premise that there's disparities within mental health care for Black Americans. And in Pittsburgh, that looks like challenges with accessing resources. That means that we're not as supported when we're experiencing mental health troubles. Connecting people to resources, we really want to empower people to make decisions that are aligned with their values and their culture about how and where they access care.
Through multiple activities and initiatives, like some of them that happen here at the Y.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for instance, here today, we're at the Thelma Lovett YMCA in the Hill District. This is the location for our partners, Macedonia Face, who have a strong senior support program and senior center. We collaborate with them on an elders and seniors mental health support group. That group's been going on for 5 years. Also, there are residents who live here, who are from here, who have been trained up to provide continued care and support in their neighborhoods.
Yeah, so lots of good things going on. And you say, you look forward to leading the organization into its next decade. We do know that, the main goal was by 2030 to connect every Black person in Allegheny County with mental health resources. Where are you all now in reaching that?
Oh, I love this question. Because it's a lofty mission, right? And I always joke with our team, there's 6 of us. We're not going to take all 180,000 Black folks in Allegheny County and take our couple thousand at this. And so our work is really about building community capacity for care and doing that through our programming. The first 10 years have been spectacular in that we've gotten the opportunity to test our programs, to receive feedback from community members about what works for them. And so the next 10 years to me looks like putting that model into practice, continuing to do our support groups, training up community members so that they can partner in these initiatives with us.
Thank you. There's a big celebration happening soon, and we're all invited to the party. We're talking with the organizers of Pittsburgh's Carnival when we come back. Some people say carnival, others say carnival. For a second year, the Pittsburgh Caribbean community is bringing a taste of the islands back to the north side. The 2-day event celebrates freedom and culture. I sat down with one of the organizers at one of the only Caribbean restaurants at Market Square.
We're excited to present the Carnival for its second time here in Pittsburgh. It's going to be at the same location, the Allegheny Commons Park West.
What made you say, okay, we want to bring this event back to Pittsburgh?
Well, we believe our first year was a success. Because although it was a new event to the city, we were quite pleased with the reception that we got.
The excitement will fill the north side starting Friday. From food, music to colorful costumes, Carnival brings the spirit of the Caribbean. Shelley Dewberry is one of the event organizers. He tells me it's a celebration of freedom.
In the Caribbean, where I'm from originally, I'm from Antigua, and what we were taught was Carnival is expressing freedom from slavery. And it's a way that we celebrate and show that, we're no longer bound by these trains.
Similar to a Juneteenth celebration, is that what you're saying?
Carnival celebrates freedom likewise.
So talk to us about all the flags that you see.
Mainly, you're going to be seeing a lot of Caribbean flags, because a lot of Caribbean people, they come out to celebrate. But we also invite people of different cultures. You have like Mexico, you got Canada, you got, because there's Carnival is celebrated in other places as well. Everyone is invited, Yeah.
Can you bring your American flag? Can you bring your terrible towel?
Yes. You could bring whatever you want to bring, whatever you want to bring. Just come out and have fun.
It starts with Juve, a Creole French term. It means dawn or daybreak. It's the time celebrations are typically held, kicking off the Carnival festivities. The practice traces back to Trinidad and Tobago following the emancipation of enslaved people in the 1800s. Revelers dressed up, covered themselves in paint and or mud, a form of self-expression and cultural pride. is it Carnival, not Carnival? Explain to our viewers.
Some people, they pronounce it different. You know, if you're maybe Latino, Puerto Ricans, they say Carnival, and I think Caribbean people, we just say Carnival.
So it just depends where in the world you are.
Yeah, like everyone just pronounces it perhaps different, yeah.
I grew up in New York, and I lived in the South Bronx for most of my life, and we would say Carnival. Internationally, the largest carnival in the world is held in Brazil. New York City is home to the largest West Indian American Day Carnival in the United States. Some celebrations are tied to the lunar calendar preceding Easter and Lent. Others are tied to local cultural holidays, like the one in New York that takes place on Labor Day and Pittsburgh's local celebration. July 25th is officially recognized as the International Day of Afro-Latin American, Afro-Caribbean, and Diaspora Women. For Pittsburgh's second annual Juve, Shelley tells me it will begin with a parade Friday at 3 p.m. at Allegheny Commons Park West, followed by performances Saturday also at the park. Are you hoping this celebration becomes a reoccurring thing in the city of Pittsburgh, similar to Juneteenth?
Yes, our goal is to have it annually, every year in Pittsburgh. It'll just get bigger and better, and hopefully it'll be as big as the New York celebration. Friday, come out, be prepared to have dirty, messy fun. The attendees are going to be dressed in their costumes and they're going to be parading. Saturday, come out dressed nice and be prepared to enjoy some really good performances.
Some soca music.
Soca music, reggae music, and some hip-hop music for the American audience.
Afrobeats?
Afrobeats.
Yes, because you know we can't forget the African audience too in this city. This is a ticketed event. For those details, just head to kdka.com. Coming up, he turned a side dish into the main event. Street Fries has a new home, so there's no more waiting around on the food truck. We're taking you to the South Side location inside the new restaurant, and your neighborhood highlights when we come back. Every milestone built on the last, from a folding table and 2 potato cutters from his mother to a brick and mortar store on the South Side. Street Fries isn't just on the go anymore. There's a permanent address and a store you'll see here first. Eric Williams gives us a behind-the-scenes look and reflects on what it took to get there. The man behind the fries. Here, mic up for us. Walk me through the moment when you open these doors every morning, having a permanent home for Street Fries.
It's exciting. It's a little overwhelming. A lot of pressure too, but you know, it's something that I thrive in.
Let's talk about how it all started.
Okay.
2022. A modest setup. Take us all the way back there. Your mom is queen of the fries.
She's like, here's this potato cutter. It's like, it was like 50 years old. Fry cutter, potatoes, a small fryer. Not no commercial or double fryer, just a small house fryer that you find at your house, a deep fryer. And then I pulled that out, had a couple seasonings. I didn't really have help. I couldn't afford it. So it was a bottom line. It was just straight up sweat equity.
So the main ingredient, determination and
resilience, and just like
perseverance.
Perseverance, and the idea is like confidence that you can do anything you can think of.
So you started in 2022. In 2023, you got the truck.
We had so much demand, ended up buying a Carnival truck, and the rest was history.
Did you see yourself gaining so much momentum so quickly? I mean, when you think about the time frame, it's only been like 4 years, right?
I always had to keep up with the demand. So, I mean, we're making food that we pour in love into. We're like, I'm making sure that there's no chicken missing, there's no fries missing, that it's filled up to the top. Just that quality, that standard, and the expectations that I have, like even with the team I have there now, it's just like became vital to like blowing this place up.
Did you guys have a location in 2024?
We did have a location in 2024. We were at the food mill on Melwood, so we had a location now. And that location gave people the opportunity to get it anytime they want. Every box we're putting out there was amazing, so it went viral. We went viral on Facebook too many times, we went on Instagram too many times, and it's kind of like a little bit dramatic, to be honest, because it's like, it was just so crazy.
Yeah.
It was like fry Armageddon. So like our system obviously was always about streamlining the systems, get it out quick, but at some point you have to grow. You have to meet the demand. You need bigger systems. You need more people on the line.
Did that contribute to you saying, okay, let's close up?
The food mill was a difficult situation because of the bottleneck that was there. So that was important to meet the demand that we were getting, and the stress I was putting on the team was really important for me to expand a little bit wider. So I decided to shut that down. So we had a year contract there.
Yeah. And then after that, you guys, it was the food trucks. We were all running after the food truck at all these festivals.
Yeah. It was all planned. Everything that you see is planned.
Yeah.
Nothing's like.
And then you were part of the NFL draft. You were part of that experience. What was that like for you?
The NFL experience was definitely something that I'll never forget. Looking back at that moment was definitely historic for street fries.
You've done so much. Do you feel like you've made it? What does that look like for you?
That's a good question. Do I feel like I made it? Wow. I don't feel like I made it. I feel like where I'm in a position to give more people opportunities, and to bolster other people around me in a way that it really impacts their lives. I think then I made it. Like I said before in the beginning, I guess it's about making an impact that people's doing something bigger than myself. I think street fries is definitely bigger than me right now. Like,
Yes, they are.
No question. But so it's a good start. But do I think I made it? No, I don't know.
Well, congratulations. But before we go, we want to see you work. We want to see how you put it together. So we're going to go do that.
All right, let's do it.
Yes, all right, come on.
I thought you could build your own fries. People like the way they like it, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I forget and I eat the fries. Like, I get jealous of the fries I make for people. I'm like, look how good this looks. I mean, it's a good day.
It is a good day. Street Fries is now officially open. Now it's time for your neighborhood highlights, a look at great things happening in our region. This month, a Black-owned business celebrates 20 years. Young Brothers Bar opened on the North Side July 1st, 2006. The owners say family, friends, and community are what keep them going. Looking for some weekend fun for the whole family? You remember Jordan Ford, the owner and founder of Shop Hairport. She's been here before. Happening today, the Hairport Beauty Social at the Hair Depot Beauty Supply Store. Enjoy complimentary drinks, giveaways, and activities for the kids. The event is from 2 to 5. You won't want to miss it. Also happening today, Sweet and Styled is bringing a twist to pickleball. The Pittsburgh-based event styling and decor business is hosting a Bridgerton-inspired pickleball social. It will be at Matt's Pickle and Paddle, the indoor pickleball court, from 3:30 to 6:30. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.